You may think it's too early to think about Hoosier Boys State, but really it's not, because you need to make some planning. Hello and welcome to 18 WJTS in.form. I'm Bill Potter, your host. Joining me in the studio is Daniel Lawson, U.S. Army retired. He is with the Jasper American Legion Post, and he pretty well runs the Hoosier Boys State program for this local area. Daniel, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Well, now, here we are. It's really, June's a long way off. But you need to plan for Hoosier Boys State. So let's start by telling people, what is Hoosier Boys State?
Well, Hoosier Boys State is, and I'll just read it strictly from the book. Hoosier Boys State is a civics leadership program that simulates Indiana's political process from the local up to the state level. Juniors from across Indiana, known as delegates, will work together and create a fictional but functional state government, honing leadership and organizational skills in the process. And the purpose of Hoosier Boys State overall, the purpose of the program is to promote understanding about Indiana political process, the power of democracy, and inspire leadership in our future leaders. At the end of Hoosier Boys State, these juniors will know more about our state government than 90% of their peers, and I guarantee you that. And they will be more able to make a positive influence in their community, which is absolutely important, because these kids are getting up to that voting age. And voting, as you and I know, is extremely important, especially in today's world.
Now, I'm a past Hoosier Boys State, I guess I should say, and it was a great experience. I was surprised at how much I learned, really didn't know what I was going to get into. It's good for two reasons. One is you learn everything that you just talked about, the political system, and you meet new friends. But for some of these guys, it's the first time away from home for a while. Absolutely.
In fact, I had a young man out of a local school that was on his second day at Hoosier Boys State, and he was almost ready to call mom and dad and to come and get me. I can't handle this, because he's never been away from home. Mm-hmm. And his roommates convinced him to try it one more day. And he tried it one more day and finally just ended up loving the program. He just got over that fear of being away from home.
This is a program for what age?
High school juniors in good standings.
Now, when you say so, they're juniors now or they're sophomores
now?
They're
juniors now.
Juniors now, okay.
Yes.
And this is held when and where?
It's held at the Trine University at Angola, Indiana, and the dates for this year's Hoosier Boys State is June the 11th through June the 17th.
Okay, so then that's one reason we're doing the show now, is so people, if they're interested in going, can plan vacations and work schedules, things like that.
Definitely, because a lot of these kids have summer jobs. They're out looking at colleges and universities that they may want to attend after they graduate high school, family vacations. So this all needs to be planned out in their own, within their own calendar.
You mentioned colleges and universities. This is a really important thing to put on your application when you go to apply for a college or for a military institute, that you've gone to Hoosier Boys State. So you need to do this.
Hoosier Boys State is highly recognized by all the colleges and universities, to include all the military services.
Is this put on by the American Legion?
It's sponsored by the American Legion, but we have an array of counselors at Hoosier Boys State. We've had high school. We've had deputy sheriffs as counselors, retired teachers, retired military. So it's an array of different people that not necessarily retired, but just took time off from their own work. In fact, a couple of years ago, we had a young man that joined the military, and he came back and he was a counselor for Hoosier Boys State. So he took a week's leave just to be a counselor up at Hoosier Boys State. That's how much he thought about the program.
Now, this is a whole week that you're staying in Angola.
Yes.
Can be expensive, but that's where the American Legion Jasper Post comes in.
Yes, we sponsor the entire cost of Hoosier Boys State, which is $300. Now, I say we get money from different organizations within the community, and just to give you a brief outline, we get money from the Sons of the American Legion, Jasper Optimus Club, Holy Name Society, Myers Distributing. I can go on and on and on. about the different organizations. Ruxer in the past, they may not donate $300 for one delegate, but it might be $75, it may be $100 or whatever. But financially, I'm in good shape. I have theoretically, I have enough money to send 30 kids to Hoosier Boys State.
Wow. And
I have that kind of funding.
I remember back when I went, there was like only 2 from the county that would go. And what a great opportunity. So more need to take advantage of this. But how do you reach out to these kids? How do you get to that junior to get them to be interested?
I do it in a more direct way. For example, I have a meeting with all the juniors at Northeast Du Bois High School on the 11th of January, and we'll talk about the program.
Okay.
I have a meeting at Jasper High School on the 18th of January, all the juniors, and we'll talk about the entire program. I don't have about 15 to 17 minutes with them, but I plant the seed. And then those that are interested, I have a special form that they fill out. They take to the guidance shop, and then the guidance shop will contact me, and I'll meet with those kids later on in the school year. I've also got a date that's in the planning stages of Southridge and Forest Park, but those dates have not been set yet.
And really, the Jasper Post takes care of Jasper and Du Bois, and you're helping Southridge and Forest Park?
I'm helping the Holland American Legion Post and the Ferdinand American Legion Post.
And one thing we want to point out, if you're watching this show and you want some information right away or you miss something, they can always contact you through the Jasper Post of the American Legion?
They can contact me directly on my phone, which is 812-661-2440. Okay. They can send me an email at dble754@gmail.com. They can research their own on Hoosier Boys State just by Googling HoosierBoysState.org, and that will bring up the American Legion Hoosier Boys State program so they can gain some little bit of information. They can wait until I do my presentation with the juniors and specifically talk to me then. And there's, like I say, there's a form that they fill out and they turn that into the guidance shop, and then the guidance shop will accumulate all the forms, and they'll give me a call.
There's still a lot of time, though, before you actually have that deadline. When do you have to know?
Probably the deadline fluctuates. Probably the second week in May is going to be the deadline. Okay. But there's a lot of paperwork involved. And then what I do on top of this, once I identify all my delegates, I have a meeting early part of March with all the delegates and mom and dad or their guardian. Okay. And I have that meeting at the American Legion Post in the bingo hall, and we spend about 2 hours. I go through a PowerPoint presentation. I go through about a 2-hour presentation on Trine University, Hoosier Boys State. So when they leave that meeting, mom and dad and that delegate, all their questions are answered. And not only that, but if mom and dad says, son, you're going to Hoosier Boys State, he's going to Hoosier Boys State. I don't know if you knew a gentleman by the name of Al Schuler. Okay. Al Schuler was a teacher at Jasper High School. Him and I brought the program back to the American Legion Post. And Al was in charge of Hoosier Boys State for a couple years. And I remember that Al told me he had a kid one time that wanted to go to Hoosier Boys State, and he started a band. And he felt that the band was more important than going to Hoosier Boys State. And Al Schuler could not. If you knew Al Schuler, you could not believe that a band was more important than furthering his education in the leadership aspect of Hoosier Boys State.
The Hoosier Boys State is going to teach you things that you will carry through with the rest of your life.
Rest of your life. Yes. It is a week to shape a lifetime. It's going to teach you things about yourself. It's going to bring your inner self out. Because all this is hands-on. There's no classroom environment. It's all hands-on from the Sunday at 2 o'clock when you start the program until you graduate on a Friday evening. All hands-on. It's like you said, it's a fictional but a functional government. Mm-hmm. From all the way up from the basic level, precinct level, all the way up to the governorship.
Now, it's Hoosier Boys State, but there's also a Hoosier Girls State.
Correct. It's a week later than Hoosier Boys State, and it mirrors the Hoosier Boys State program.
And the auxiliary takes care of that.
The auxiliary takes care of that.
Okay. If somebody wanted to, they could also get a hold of you, and you can get them directed in the right direction to get them.
Call me, send me an email, and I'll get you to the proper person on the auxiliary side.
Who went last year?
Ty Cobb went last year. It was not a very good year for Hoosier Boys State. COVID, there's a lot of factors that went into last year's program, and it was horrible. I used to average 16 to 18 delegates throughout the county, and that's my goal, is to get back to my average, but I can send up to 30. I have that funding available.
Now, last year, one of the tricks was that Hoosier Boys State said, okay, you got to be vaccinated before you can go, and then they changed and said, no, you don't have to be vaccinated.
That's exactly why.
Where are we right now?
Yeah, it is. Vaccination is not required.
Okay, because that can make a difference.
It definitely makes a difference with these young people. So it is, it's not required.
And it may be one of the most important things that a kid does this summer is to take that 1 week. I know that they're involved in a lot of things. There's 4-H, there's baseball, there's all kinds of things. But this is a different kind of program, and you're really just committing yourself for 1 week. You're not doing a whole lot of work prior to that or after that.
There's no prep to it or anything like that at all. And there's a lot of scholarship money available, not only at Hoosier Boys State. I believe last year they gave approximately $12,000 worth of scholarships. In fact, Ty Cobb from Northeast Du Bois got an $800 scholarship. Now, the American Legion Post, through me, we offer a $1,000 scholarship to one of the delegates who go to Hoosier Boys State. I had to change that. Unfortunately, I had to change that last year because the program, my attendance was horrible, and I just couldn't offer that. So I have an unwritten rule, 10 or above, and I will give that $1,000 scholarship. And I base that scholarship on the activities that person performs, his performance at Hoosier Boys State, how active he is, what political offices that he runs for, and how I determine that is through the counselors, because I'm in constant contact with the counselors at Hoosier Boys State. I know most of them. And then typically I go to Hoosier Boys State about 2 days during that week. And I travel up there, I stay the night, and I change the days that I go so that I can get a further understanding of Hoosier Boys State. That helps me sell the program. The more I know about the program, the easier it is for me to sell the program to these high school juniors.
It's a wonderful program. It's if you're a junior now, it's really your year between your junior year and your senior year. That this coming summer, that you will be going to Hoosier Boys State. But you need to be thinking about doing that now and start the application process or meet with Daniel, right? And
if you go to that website, HoosierBoysState.org, you can start the application process right then and there. The application, everything's done online.
And is there anything else you'd like to add? Just consider it. That's probably the most important thing. Just get yourself in that frame of mind, or your grandson or your son or your daughter to going to one of the Boys State or Girls State.
I just can't stress. The bottom line, this program is or should be a requirement for all high school juniors who are committed to make a positive influence in their community beyond high school. These graduates are more apt to be involved in politics, business owners, professionals of all types. Understanding the political process is vital, especially in the times that we live in today.
You can do that through Hoosier Boys State.
Absolutely.
And the Jasper American Legion pays the way. So,
yep.
I mean, what more could you want? Yep. Well, you will have to buy, like, snacks, don't you?
I recommend each delegate takes about $75 of pocket money up. Normally one evening a week, they'll have a pizza party. But all the food, it's cafeteria style. You're on a college campus, so it's all the food, everything's provided. But I would recommend about $75 worth of pocket money.
Yeah, for a good time.
Absolutely.
Right. Most importantly, the things that you learn at Hoosier Boys State is what's you'll carry through the rest of your life.
Absolutely.
Well, Daniel Lawson, thank you for coming in, and thank you for your service with the U.S. Army.
Thank you.
U.S. Army retired. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I served, entered the Army in 1971 and retired in 1993. I did various jobs. I was initially trained in reconnaissance. and I went into Armor. I was a drill sergeant for 3 years. I was the Army Recruiting Command for 6 years, and I retired out of Fort Knox out of the Law Enforcement Command. I worked with AWOLs out of Fort Knox. In fact, in the Army Recruiting Command, I spent 3 years here in Jasper. I was a station commander for the Army Recruiting Command here in Jasper.
Well, thank you for your service, as we do with all veterans. And thanks to what the American Legion in Jasper and Ferdinand and Holland and everywhere does. Great program.
We do the best we can to support not only the young children, but also the veterans as well.
All right. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you for watching 18 WJTS in.form. Please consider having someone you know or you yourself going to Hoosier Boys State your junior year this coming summer, or if you're a sophomore now, you can go your junior year next year because it'll still be around. Hope to get more kids involved. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching 18 WJTS. We are local people watching local people.